Welcome to another edition of the Fans Week podcast, also on medium waves 1,575 kilohertz. From Paris, I'm Jessica Carter-Wilson. French PM demands gas prices melt like ice cream after Iran's ceasefire. By Jessica Carter-Wilson, fansweek.org, Paris, April 9th, 2026. Today's news. On April 8th, after a truce was announced in Iran, Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu addressed the Senate and politely asked that gasoline prices fall by the end of the weekend, or at the latest, early next week. No tax changes, no levy adjustments, just a request. In a move that makes a toddler's birthday wish look like a budget balancing act, France's Prime Minister stepped onto the Senate floor and politely begged the market to obey his wish for cheaper fuel, as if the price tag at the pump were a polite dog that would fetch a treat when called. The art of asking without doing anything. Lecornu's speech was a masterclass in political minimalism. Our tanks were full before the crisis, so the market just needs a few days to catch up, he declared, as though the world's oil supply were a coffee pot that could be reheated by a hopeful glance. The logic, flawless in its naivete, assumes that a 3-day lag in barrel inventories automatically translates into a miraculously swift price drop, as if gravity could be turned off for a single weekend. We are simply asking for a temporary kindness from the oil majors, the minister's press secretary later whispered to reporters, and we fully expect that Total, Shell, and the rest will feel compelled to lower prices out of sheer politeness, just as a hurried host lowers the music after a guest mentions a headache. Bercy's emergency tea party. Within hours, the government convened an urgent meeting of all fuel operators at Bercy, which lasted just long enough for the coffee to cool and the biscuits to go stale. No new fiscal levers were pulled. Instead, executives were handed a polite suggestion and a fresh box of croissants. The agenda read, discuss the moral imperative to lower prices and enjoy the free pastries. We have asked, and we will continue to ask, until the market finally decides that saying, please, actually works, said an unnamed senior executive, eyes glazed with half-eaten almond croissant. It's the only policy tool we have left after the tax office went on vacation. The physics of slower-than-snail price drops. Economists, who have long understood that oil price transmission can be as swift as a cheetah when demand spikes, now argue that the inverse must be as sluggish as a sloth in winter. The government's logic insists that because prices rose very, very quickly when tensions flared, they must fall very, very slowly when tensions ease, a principle that would make Newton weep. If the market does not obey our gentle request by Monday morning, we will simply remind them that the public is watching and that we have a nice table set for the next diplomatic dinner. An insider at the Ministry of Energy assured, we may even consider a polite note on the next fuel receipt. Like, thanks for being awesome. So the nation waits, eyes fixed on the pumps like children waiting for a magic show, hoping that the next time a barrel of oil moves, it will do so in perfect synchrony with the Prime Minister's courteous pleas. The only certainty is that somewhere in the back rooms of Bercy, a stack of croissants continues to shrink, while the price tags stubbornly stay put. That's all from today. From Paris, I'm Jessica Carter-Wilson.